What's your name?
Seda.
Seda what? You have a first and last name?
Sam.
Seda Sam?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Where I was born or where I'm from?
Where are you born?
Thailand.
You've been deported before from the United States?
No.
Never been deported?
But I've been in the system before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What have you been charged with
Charged where?
before?
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm gonna talk to my lawyer.
Yeah. Are you a citizen?
My mom's a citizen.
Your mother's a citizen?
Yes.
But you're not?
Nope.
But you've never been deported before?
We Dr. Phil. We got Dr. Phil.
Yeah? How do you know me?
No, I seen Dr. Phil, you know, on TV.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is an example of sanctuary cities, right? We got an illegal alien convicted of sex crimes involving children, and he's walking the streets of Chicago. Again, the downfall, the problem with the sanctuary city, that people like us walking the street rather than local law enforcement working with federal agents. This is what we're dealing with. Yeah. You've been charged with sex crimes with children?
Not really.
Not really? And never been deported?
Nope.
Huh. Let's take them in and process them, lock them up.
Got it, sir.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So we got another delusional segment from the ladies from the lunatics. God, I messed up. The lunatics from The View. And they're going to be talking about the mass deportations that are happening at the moment. And it is just glorious to witness because you're going to know, I mean, you always know you're going to get a bad take from these ladies, no matter what the subject at hand is. So let's not waste any time and get straight into this video.
U.S. Border Czar Tom Homan has started using ICE agents to conduct a nationwide raid and the U.S. military to carry out mass deportations of undocumented citizens. Now, he told ABC News Chief Global Affairs correspondent Martha Raddatz that this is just the beginning. Take a look.
Is this what we will see every single day, ending in what the president has promised is millions and millions being deported?
Yes, but you can see the numbers steadily increase, the number of arrests nationwide as we open up the aperture.
The estimates of perhaps those who have been convicted or arrested in the past, 700,000 to over 1 million. So after you do that, then you go after everybody who is there illegally.
If you're in the country illegally, you're on the table.
The acting Homeland Security Secretary said in a statement, criminals will no longer be able to hide in America's schools and churches to avoid arrest. What criminals are hiding in schools?
How many MS-13 members are the age of 14 to 17? Many of them.
So, is this the immigration system fix that people had in mind when they voted?
Yes.
Do you think?
Yes, 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 and yes.
Well, it's hard to tell at this table because no one voted for him. But I think if you were, I don't know yet. It's kind of, it's disturbing what we're seeing, and the headlines and all the coverage would make you think that there's this massive deportation, but by numbers, contextually, President Obama still remains the deporter-in-chief. Even if Trump continues at this rate, he will not even hit what President Obama hit in 1 year with 400,000. But the point here is that it's meant to be a PR campaign. So it's meant to scare people. That's what they're doing right now. And when you look at these flights where they are deporting people back to their origin nation, we don't know who they are, and that's where I'd like to see more transparency. If indeed, right now, everyone on these flights is a violent criminal, I think we can all agree everyone thinks they should leave the country. We were saying that this morning. It's common sense. But what we're not getting is a breakdown of who these people are. On the first day of Trump's presidency, DHS, there was a press release, and they said that they had nabbed more than 300 illegal migrant criminals, including 1 attempted murder and 1 child molester. But what about the other 298? What was their crime? Because
Coming into this country illegally was their crime. That's it. That's it. And then Tom Homan also said that there could be some collateral damage. If they're out there trying to find an illegal immigrant that has a criminal record and he happens to be with other illegal immigrants, even if they haven't committed a crime, they're also getting deported. It's simple. The crime in itself is being in this country illegally. That is enough to deport these people.
Because I think either you own the fact that these are all violent criminals and break down who these people are, what their crime was, and tell the American people, or tell us what they really are and let us have a healthy debate over the disagreement of how this is being carried out.
Because, yeah, I think the answer to your question, Whoopi, is yes and no for the public. So 87% of Americans support deporting undocumented migrants who've committed crimes in this country. That's nearly a universal opinion that I think we stand by. 55% express some desire to see anyone who's here unlawfully leave. So that's a lot more split. What I'd say is this when we talk about this issue. Most nations on earth deal with the question of how to secure their border and how many migrants to take in. It's not uniquely American. It's not xenophobic to simply care about it. There's national security imperatives. There's economic imperatives. And what we're seeing now, what matters to me is how it's done, that it's done humanely and safely, and that we're prioritizing the people who shouldn't be here. So again, people who have committed offenses against people, but also I think that it's important that we contextualize it because to Sarah's point, in Obama's first term, 3 million people were deported. That's much slower than what Trump's on pace to do right now. And I'd finally say that I think that America is supposed to be a shining city on a hill. I think that we're a place that welcomes migrants. We're stronger for it. But we should prioritize people like refugees. Right now, there's 1,600 Afghans who helped assist us in this war who are on pause under the Trump administration from coming in. Those are the people who need to come first, not economic migrants.
That's because of Joe Biden. He allowed criminals to come into this country. Now they're the priority. That's just the way it is. You need to blame Joe Biden and his administration for allowing criminals to come into this country, putting the people that are trying to come into this country the legal way in the back burner. Honestly, that's just the sacrifices that have to be made right now is to pause legal immigration into this country until we clean up the illegal immigrants that are here, the illegal criminals that are here, get them out of this country, and then maybe process or put people that are not criminals in the back of the line and then start over. That's really it. That's the only solution that I see to this. And it is going to be some things that are not going to be pretty, and which is basically having to pause 1,600 Afghan refugees that are trying to come into this country legally, but now Joe Biden has put them in the back burner. That is his fault, 100%.
Migrants, we can't house everyone, we can't bring everyone here, but people who helped our country and are fleeing for their lives should always be able to have a place
Be protected,
To answer your question, which is this the immigration fix that this country wanted? I think absolutely there are certain people that wanted to see this kind of pain and destruction for a certain group or type of immigrant. Because if you look at the numbers, yes, the number of immigrants that come from Mexico or of Mexican-born are the largest. But the next largest are Asians. 28% of them come. I don't think they walk across the southern border. I think they come by plane. The next largest are Europeans. I don't think they walk either. I'm just saying immigrants, right?
Oh, not undocumented, though.
A lot of them are undocumented, actually.
But that's not the stat for being
but a lot
of
them
come by
plane and then overstay their visas.
They overstay their visas. They overstay their visas, so they're
illegal.
undocumented. The Europeans that come here that overstay their visas are undocumented, but they don't come across the southern border. So I think there's a very clear message as to what this president wants the look of a criminal migrant to look like, what an undocumented migrant. And I think that's racist. Let me also say that in my view...
Shame on this woman. Shame on this woman for pulling the race card like that. That is disgusting. She is the worst individual on this panel. Horrible human being. Evil, disgusting, vile human being Sunny Hostin is.
He has circumvented established law by weaponizing the U.S. military.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
Generally, before being deported, you have an asylum case pending in front of a court, and you must appear in front of that judge. Right now, there are 3 million asylum cases and 900 judges. That is why the bipartisan bill that was going to be passed addressed that particular issue. Instead of dealing with it legally in that way, and I'm not saying he's doing it illegally, what he did was declared a national emergency that qualifies as a foreign invasion. And on the U.S.-Mexico border, not any other border. And that cleared the way for the Department of Defense to deploy the military at a 60% increase. I just think that our military members, many of them did not join the military to do that job. And let me say just finally that
they did to do what the president says for them to do. That's what they signed up for, is to take orders. And that's what they're doing.
They are also racially profiling in doing this.
Wow.
In Newark, New Jersey, a business venue on Thursday was raided. And among the citizens that they detained and questioned was a Puerto Rican man and a military vet. For the 50 millionth time, Puerto Ricans are Americans and disproportionately serve in the military. And so I say all of this to say that I am disappointed, disgusted, and saddened by what I'm seeing.
Can I make one point of...
She's so dishonest. They detained him and they let him go. There was a group of migrants that he was in a crowd with, wherever they were, and they detained everybody, found out who they were looking for, and they let him go. I mean, it's just the way, the nature of the game. When ICE or any law enforcement agency is doing a raid to go after somebody that's a criminal, everybody in the house is gonna get detained until they get somebody that they're looking for, and then they let everybody else go. That happens whether it's a drug raid, this type of raid, or any other crime. Like, once again, dishonest, disingenuous Sonny Hostin for you there.
Let me speak, please.
Let me get.
So, you asked the question, is this what people voted for? I've actually seen some video this weekend of Latinos who voted for Trump crying because now their abuelas and their tios are getting deported.
Right.
I'm having a very hard time mustering up any sympathy for those people.
Yeah.
And look, I'm an immigrant. I know the desperation that it takes to leave your country. Amongst immigrants in particular, there is no doubt that we want anybody who had the opportunity to come to this great country and committed a crime, we want them punished, we want them deported to the fullest extent of the law. But a lot of good, hardworking people who are in our schools, who are our colleagues, who own houses and businesses here, who are the parents of U.S. citizen children, are getting caught up in this. Because it's been reported that ICE offices all over the country have been given a quota. There is no way they meet that quota just with criminal aliens. And let me just say, I think that what he's done with the military, in addition to the legal aspects that may be involved, has a lot to do with a publicity stunt. The point is cruelty. The point is instilling fear. But it's also very costly. A charter DHS flight, it's been reported, is something like $8,500.
Blame Joe Biden. We don't care about the cost. There is no cost to national security. Spend however much you have to spend. We don't care. Once again, blame Joe Biden. And y'all weren't saying this and questioning the cost of things when they were coming into this country. Y'all weren't saying, oh, what's the quota? Well, how many people are we going to allow into this country illegally? Y'all weren't asking what the cap was. Y'all weren't asking where the money was going to come from. Y'all weren't asking who's going to take care of it, where they were going to work, how they're going to pay taxes, how are they going to get processed. Y'all weren't asking all these questions when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris decided to just let the border wide open. Y'all weren't asking these things. So it does not matter. Those questions should go to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. The cost of deportation is on them, period.
A military C-130 is $816,000. So each one of those planes is costing us, so that he can have his picture and his photo op, 100 times more what a charter flight would be. And I have been saying for 2 months that people need to get prepared, because he said this was coming and he's living up to that. So what does that mean? It means that the immigrants out there, if you're an undocumented immigrant, if you've got a kid in school, if you've got a U.S. citizen school, let that school know, give them a list of adults that can go pick up that kid if you are taken in. Have your documents ready. If you can consult with a lawyer, por el amor.
If they have documents, they don't have nothing to worry about. Oh my God. If they have documents, they're good. What the hell?
Por de Dios, háganlo. And all of those people crying right now and feeling bad by the way they voted, there's going to be another election in 2 years. So, and we're going to have to wait 2 years of pain. So if you want things to change, get yourselves registered, get yourself active. There's no reason why we should be playing, you know, rolling over and
if you're a
playing
lawful
dead.
citizen, if you're a lawful citizen,
Well,
you
of
can
course, if
register
you're a
to vote.
lawful citizen,
But
I'm
again,
not suggesting any legal person
well, I
go
just
vote
think it's
illegally.
important to clarify that.
Once again, another bad take from The View. I mean, they could never get anything right on this show, ever. And the way Ana Navarro just contradicted herself, talking about it's the Hispanics that are crying right now are probably the ones that also voted for Donald Trump. And then she goes on to say, well, we need to go get you registered. So, you know, if you're out there protesting, go out there and vote so we can make some changes. Well, you just said it was the people that voted for him that are crying that you don't have any sympathy for. So why do they need to go register to go vote and change things up if this is who voted for this? The people that are crying right now, the Hispanics that are crying right now, are the ones that did not vote for this. Because they understand the people that are legal Hispanics, legal migrants that are in this country that voted for Trump know the difference between illegal and legal immigrants. I mean, it's plain and simple. And here's the biggest point, right? All these liberals, let's just say, right, this is what I would say. This is what I would do. This is what I would offer the liberals. I would say, all right, we'll let them stay in one condition, which is that you have to at least take 1 to 2 migrants in your own home. You don't get no resources. You don't get extra help or a stipend or anything from the government for groceries or bills or anything like that. You have to fund it out of your own pockets. You're not going to know who you're going to get. And you're not going to know how many you're going to get. You're going to get a random call, a random knock on the door from an ICE agent with migrants that are designated to stay with you. You're not going to know their name. You're not going to know what country they come from. They're not going to have an ID. They're probably not going to speak the language that you're speaking. You're not even going to know. You're not even going to know if this is their real name. You're not even going to know if this is their real name. You don't know their background. You don't even know if they were a previous criminal. You don't even know what country they come from. It's just going to be random. It's a random assignment to you. You're going to get a random migrant that came into this country unvetted. And you have to take them in. You have to take care of them. Whether you have a family or not. It doesn't matter. If you have kids in the house or not. It does not matter. That's what I would offer these people. And if they don't take that offer, then we have to send them back. Nobody's willing to take them in. That's what I would say. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's talk about it in the comment section. Hope you enjoyed the content. And if you did, hit the like button down below. It really helps the channel out. And if you're brand new, consider hitting subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.